So
Um,
I would like to start off with like the general schedule. So CST is 35 days, and it's kind of like it's not really basic training, even though you're tested on basic soldiership skills like land nav, sea burn, first aid, marksmanship, uh 6 mile ruck, timed, 8 mile ruck in formation, and 12 mile ruck. Is there anything else I'm missing?
um, the rappel tower.
Rappel tower, yeah. And you're also tested on your leadership roles. That's basically CST, is testing your leadership. So,
Yeah.
and that's done through in the field or while you're in the barracks. So
Yep.
you have many iterations of PL, PSG, squad leader,
Mhm.
numerous times, especially in the field. Like there's 3 phases in the field, and you're there for I think 12 days.
Yeah.
So phase one was, and it's broken down to crawl, walk, and run phase. So phase one was, I think,
Wolverine.
Wolverine. Phase two was Grizzly,
Panther.
and then phase three was Panther. And basically, in phase one, you're kind of led through by cadre, and you're not really tested through your blue cards or evaluated. It's just to like get runs and get comfortable when you are given a mission by cadre, and then just having to just do it by yourselves with your PL and your squad leaders and designating tasks and making sure you know everything and how to conduct the mission. And even before that, there's also going to be squad lanes, which is kind of like the same thing, except it's just on a lower level. You kind of operate on your squad, and then it's pretty much it. So that's kind of the general view of CST. Mal, you want to start off with kind of your experience with it? Kind of like what highlights or what memorable moments did you have?
Well, it was definitely a fun time. 35 days. It's one of those things where like you said, it's basic training and AIT kind of like got together and had a baby that nobody wanted, nobody predicted. Like that's CST in like in a nutshell. But memorable moments. People there are pretty cool. I made some good friends. I went for we went first reg actually,
Yeah.
so we got to spend some time together.
Oh yeah.
And
Way beyond privacy, personal time. And that's the thing. You're gonna like do a lot of things for the first time. Like I didn't really expect to shower naked with other guys.
mhm.
I didn't learn how to eat really fast because there's a lot of times where you have to do so many tasks in such a small time. Like sometimes you would have to eat after conducting like a 6 mile ruck, or you had land av the previous day and you had to like do a total of like 15 miles because maybe you failed one or something, so you have to do more walking. um and so you have to like eat MRE in like 5 minutes. uh,
Mhm.
what else
My
besides?
my favorite and least favorite moment, all put into one, was when that we got lost during our 12 mile ruck. What
Oh
like three
yeah,
miles? We just straight up got off roaded by our LT, and
of
so
course it was the LT.
yeah, it was the second LT, and then he took us off road for like a good probably 3 miles, and then when the other LT found out, freaked out on him, turned around, up going back those 3 miles, went to the area that we got lost at. The first sergeant was waiting on us. The company commander was waiting on us. All the other platoons were pretty much like on pause for us to go. And so when the LT started moving again, he started going in the wrong direction again. So the first sergeant literally took him and moved him this way.
That's the That must
Hilarious.
have been so humiliating.
Yeah,
And
like literally like a dog going the wrong way. Like no, you go this way.
I think it might have been our fault because I think we were the platoon ahead of you, and I think you might have been lost because and first of all, CST is going to be cadre dependent and who's in your platoon. So my cadre were primarily like a Green Beret, uh, I don't know, I forgot his rank, Mass Sergeant, and then we had a Ranger Reg guy who was a captain. Great guys, but like I think they kind of went too hard on us. Like we didn't have access to our phones, and I think that applied to you too. Like I think Verge Reds didn't have like access. Did you have access to your phone? Yeah,
Mm, 10 minutes on one refit day. Like that was pretty much it.
Oh yeah. So like refit day is basically you're in the field for I think 15 days. So like it's 3 days for phase one, and then you have a refit day, which is at Densberger, which is kind of like the wide known area. It's kind of like tent city because it's not really like the barracks, and you'll learn to love the barracks because the barracks have AC, you have everything just chilling, and you got nice beds. But tent city is almost like that, except it's better than just sleeping in the field. And you're kind of placing these tents, and each tent holds like an entire company, so like four platoons to one tent. And there's AC in there, which is so I like. I remember every time you walk out, blazing hot on the gravel, and then when you walk in, it's just so nice. The AC, you're relaxing, you're like rejuvenating. But anyway, we'll talk about Tent City later. So like Tent City, you have like you get to eat like hot meals, which is not really like from the DFAC, but it's like meals better than MREs, and it's
Mm-hmm.
kind of like outside in like these boxes that people feed you. It's kind of depressing too, but and then there's like the medics that you can try to if there's any issues, but they usually can't really help you. I like my experience with medics was the worst. Like at one point I got poison ivy before my 12-mile ruck, and that was the worst thing. And like they only gave me like a squirt because so many people were getting poison ivy. And like
Yeah.
the only refreshing thing was to shower to like kind of wipe off the oil. But then every time you walk out of like and you showered in these like big containers. I mean, it was nice though. It was nice to shower. It was either you got super hot or you got super cold. But then yeah, and when you walked out, you start sweating again. Same thing with the porta potties. It's like a sauna in there. You start going in there, you start sweating, you have your flick on. It's hard putting on your belt. It's just annoying. But
Although first reg we got the better porta potties because we were the first group to go in to use those porta potties. So I could
oh, that's
imagine that
true.
on you go like 12th reg just got 11 other regs of just everyone's crap put into one.
Oh my gosh, that is very true actually. I didn't think about that. But all right, so I kind of like journaled a lot, so I kind of like list the highlights of what I went through. All right, so day one, I remember it was kind of like in processing. I remember I had to carry 5 bags, like 1,000 meters from like the start point to like where the barracks was,
Those
and that
bars.
was that was I think that was unfair because I had an internship, so I had to bring more stuff, and
Yep.
I think I had to carry a ruck, a duffel bag, my suitcase, and two other backpacks, like my assault pack and my regular backpack. And I had to like luge that up upstairs with like no help. So how do you carry 5 bags? But okay, yeah. And also like another thing to kind of prepare for is waiting a lot in formation. Like you're just gonna be standing in like 40 minutes, 2 hours, just like at parade rest. And that could be like at a urine analysis or like just waiting for your PL to like brief your squad leaders and you're just like sitting around like just kind of wasting time. So that was kind of like day one is like getting rejuvenated. A highlight on day two is kind of like, oh shit, I'm here and this is gonna suck. Like basically you wake up at like 3 in the morning almost every day. You train like there's every single moment you have something to do. And then like a 10-minute break would be like the world because you're just constantly doing things. You have so many tasks to do. And then you sleep at like maybe 9. They say you sleep at 9, but that's not really the case because you have like tasks to do. Your PL tells you, oh, you gotta pack, you gotta do laundry, you gotta like make sure like items check. And then what's like 10 o'clock if that's lucky, if the bathroom isn't filled with people brushing their teeth. And sometimes like
Right.
you'd have to wake up early to go brush your teeth before everybody comes and you have to wait in line and stuff. Uh, and then you also have fire guard. Like
Mhm.
sometimes fire guard can like last an hour, maybe half an hour. And you have to wake up. You basically wake up in the middle of the night, like maybe 12 or 1. Or if you're lucky, you have the first shift. So like at 9:30 and you just get it over with and you go back to sleep. Um, but yeah, that was like kind of like day two. It's like you can't really train for fire guard. You just have to kind of prepare, just get lack of sleep. you know.
Yeah. You just kind of cross your fingers that they give you mercy and they put you either first or last. I preferred last, to be honest. I felt like having that last shift was nice. I had to wake up half an hour, 45 minutes early, an hour
Hmm.
early,
Yeah,
shower. No, not really supposed to do any of that. Supposed to be doing security, but nothing's
yeah,
changed.
yeah.
And routine,
I think doing fire guard in the barracks is way better than in the field.
100%. That was the word. I got stepped on. The amount of people that I stepped on, the amount of people at times that I got stepped on.
Oh my gosh, that was. I've never felt so tired in my life, but yeah. Oh, so around day six, you kind of introduced to your cadre members. It's like day 1 to 5, you're kind of in a holding company. So like the people, like the cadre there, are not really the cadre that's gonna stick with you. So, uh,
Yeah.
I mean, like honestly, CST is like cadre dependent. Like some cadre are nice, you get to kind of relax in the patrol base. You don't really have to pull security, do like the 50 on, 50 off rule, or like the 30% rule where like the 240s at the apexes or
Mhm.
kind of, stuff like that. There's a meme I kind of wrote. All right, it's kind of like this meme, but it says,
Oh, that's a lot.
yeah, well, it basically says when you have 30 minutes to take a shower, make your bed, do laundry with 100 other cadets, conduct a 6 mile ruck after retaking both night and land nav on 1 hour sleep and running on spinach fettuccine MRE, then stand in formation for 30 minutes and chow down food for 10 minutes. That's pretty much what you're gonna experience. I would like what was your biggest worry at CST when you came to CST?
I would say LANAF.
Oh,
I
definitely.
think LANAF, and it literally was the easiest part of CST in my opinion.
Yeah. Why do you think it was easy?
So, it's just they prepare you during your MS3, MS2 year, and all that stuff. So you kind of go there with the understanding, but you don't really know what you're getting yourself into until you're there. And so once we got there, we got the map. You could see all the trails. Like Fort Knox's land nav course is basically in the center of just all these different types of trails leading literally to the point. And if it doesn't take you to the point, you're off by a point by maybe like 50 or 100 meters. It's very, very simple. First Reg, I'm hearing, doesn't have a lot of cadet trails. I would say that there were some cadet trails. By cadet trails, I mean that when you're going to find a point and you're off the trail, you have weeds, 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 no weeds, weeds, weeds. That probably means that that's been stepped
Yeah.
on for how many generations.
So
So you just the trail, and it more or less will take you to the point, or at least it's a point, and then you can self correct yourself.
yeah. So yeah, that was also what I was worried about is like I think you have one chance to retake it and then
Yeah.
and if you don't, you kind of get recycled. But the thing is, like you said, like if you're in later regs, there's gonna be cadet trails. But that was worried. That was one thing I was worried about going first reg. It's like, oh, there's no cadet trails, so like we all have to start from scratch. But like there's a lot of terrain associations, so you're gonna like use the roads a lot, and then the point is kind of close to the road, stuff like that. And also Nightland nav, if you've never done it, and I don't think it's common to do, you just gotta follow the red lights. Like
Yeah.
if you plot it kind of correctly, and if you're lucky, like I was so lucky to have my first point like 200 meters from the start point, and it was
Hmm.
so common because everybody was going to that point. But I'll
Yeah.
tell you something really cool that happened. Uh, Dude, like a helicopter was like flying over, and it had a like shining bright light. It
Yeah.
was just looking
I
at us.
remember, I
Oh, you
remember I
were
was
there
like,
too?
yeah, I remember I was like in the middle of the woods just looking around. And just a helicopter. It was like something out of a video game. It's just shining its freaking headlight looking for us, looking at
Yeah,
us.
it was kind of like
That's,
a cool mission or something. But another thing that is also kind of sucky is the points you get, because some points could be like it could be like 2 kilometers away. I remember I had a point that was so far, and that was the point that nobody could find, and we just walk in circles, and then like at that point. Yeah, I mean, we can talk about land nav and like that. That would be like a whole video on its own. But basically, you kind of want to have like attack points. So if you get lost, there's just kind of a major terrain association, like an intersection at a road. You can always know to go back and then kind of like retrack your routes.
what also
So,
helped were water points too. They give you the coordinates to the water
oh
points.
right,
Totally lost, but you find your water point 4, look at your map that you should have written that coordinate down while you're at your starting point.
Hmm.
And if you coordinate down and you found your map and the starting point coordinates are at the water point, you can just kind of figure out, okay, I don't know where the hell I am, but I know I'm here. And then just reset yourself. And they're dispersed all over. There's like, I think 8 of them,
Hmm.
maybe more. But yeah. So
Yeah,
that thing, I got lost one time. I had no idea where I was. Found a water point. Okay, I'm in this
nice.
area. That
Yeah.
definitely helped.
And another thing is you can't talk to other cadets. Like everybody's silent. And I don't know how many cadets failed because of that, but like I remember, I think I was like top 10 cadets to finish like one of the night land app. I was, some cadets just run, but like running
Yeah.
kind of messes up your pace count. Uh, be prepared to have your feet wet. Like sometimes, like some people have to walk through like puddles or like water that kind of reach your chest, and like the equipment you have. Like, what was the things where it was like a tracker? It was so
Oh,
uncomfortable to put on.
what are those things called? Yeah, like your tracker, your location tracker.
Yeah, and then
Uh,
like if you got lost, you would like press it or something.
right. Like when
Oh yeah. Another thing we did was leadership obstacle. I think that was the only fun time, which is you have a bunch of obstacles. You have to work together with your squad to kind of get past. Which I thought that was really fun. But I think at that time I had like a huge rash on my back, which kind of sucked because I knew I was gonna get it. Like every time I would ruck, and that's the thing. Like you might get heat rash, which is like at CST, which is at Fort Knox, by the way, if I didn't say Kentucky. That place sucks, by the way. If
yeah.
you ever get stationed there, I pray for you. Like, and now looking back at it, like I had hatred towards my cadre because they got to drive in a car, they got to go back to their house, and we were just in the field, and I was just like, you don't understand how much we're sucking right now. But looking
Ah,
back, I wouldn't want to be, I wouldn't want to be an LT like in the field with like 1 hour sleep. I feel like, you know,
yeah. I don't know. I feel like I wouldn't mind if I got offered that and it helped me get a quicker or sooner bullet date and I'm getting paid
yeah,
active duty. I might. I mean, I don't until next freaking year because of my grad program, but
yeah. Another thing was kind of like the laundry system. Like
mm,
everybody would just like you didn't there was not enough laundries and my buddy and I would kind of like oh we got to do this on our own. We can't really trust anybody. So we just wait at a laundry machine waiting for it to be open and closed or like
yeah.
we like sometimes take out the like clothes if it was already clean, kind of put it back. So you got to be tactical of how you like clean your laundry. Maybe like share with people. Um,
We there were like 2 other guys and just labeled my clothes, malleable, and then
hmm. Yeah, like labeling your clothes is very important. But
yeah, that's P specifically if you well, this is more of like a garrison, but PT on your
hmm.
shirt, like a little tag allows you to write your last name. So highly
Hmm.
recommend. Also, we'll get.
What do you think about the food at the DFAC?
Honestly, I didn't mind it. I thought it was decent. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm comparing that to all the other food that we get fed there. It was like a freaking 5-star meal. But
yeah,
some days the food was actually really cool. I remember
yeah.
we had, I don't remember exactly what it was, but yeah, no, I enjoyed the food and they provide you snacks if you want to grab snacks, which I tried to stay away. I tried to like keep a healthy thing while I was down there, but they give you like cakes you can grab and like
Hmm.
pies. I wasn't expecting any of that.
If you're ever worried, they have fresh salad too. But
Yeah,
sometimes, yeah, sometimes the casual members would tell you to push. But another golden thing is like the peanut butter and jelly packs that they had. Because they would always be taken because there's a lot of protein and the food we were given is mostly carbs and like I want a lot of protein. I remember at the end of CST I lost 15 pounds, which was like huge. Like damn, I was so skinny coming out of that. Um,
on a way
and
too.
yeah, how much you lost?
I think 12. I remember number 12. Then I went to my internship and then just all
Hmm.
slowly started coming.
Mm. And another thing is first aid. I was also kind of worried about that because we didn't like at our program we didn't really like train for it, but it's basically like memorizing like I think 20 steps, and you can't get a single one wrong, or else like you have to retake. And I think you only had one retake. Another thing was like the gas chamber. I've never had that experience. I didn't think it was too bad. I think the what was scary was the fact like the kind of like the build up anxiety of like, oh, how bad is it gonna be? It's kind of like the before feeling.
Yeah, I had no problem with the gas chamber. It was kind of weird. I
I
literally had no reaction. I walked out like it was nothing. I
yeah,
smelt it. It's about weird.
yeah. You can also like kind of hold your breath, but you can't really get away with it because you gotta do exercise. So how it is like you kind of get trained like how to put on the mask, how to put on like the suit beforehand, and then you have to pass that before you go in the gas chamber. And when you go in the gas chamber, you get in the line with your mask on, and then they kind of do like performance tests, like you take off your mask while holding your breath, and you put it back on, you seal it, and another time you open your mouth and you start like. I remember for me, I had to like sing the birthday, but I was just like singing, but I was holding my breath. But like
Yeah,
you kind of get like a stinging sensation, and then yeah. So yeah, that was the gas chamber. What do you think about marksmanship? Would you score on marksmanship?
marksmanship. I think I got a 32. Yeah, for sure I got 32. It
That's
was my
good. Damn.
yeah, it was all right, but I didn't think it was that bad. I like the new qual system. I think it gets you
Yeah.
active. I don't
Yeah.
think it's. I mean, everything in CST it's easy to pass. It's kind of hard to max, like it is the ACFT and all that crap. But
Hmm.
we had the stress shoot, which I thought was really cool. Remember that when they took us on like a bus and they got out, we had to like run into the qual and then like shoot targets while we're like exhausted, getting yelled at. And it was just to kind of test our how we would react to stress. Did you do that?
I don't think so.
Really? They took us on the bus. They had us go out
Oh,
and like hurry up. We were like
no.
running into the qual.
No, no,
Like
no. Okay. No, I never did that, but I had something similar. And I want to add on another point about the bus. Dude,
mhm.
that is literally a safety hazard. You have your ruck. Everybody's crammed in this bus. You can like people are suffocating. And you have to carry like a rifle. And everybody like has their head trying to like breathe in this hot ass like sauna. Like that was one thing I would say they had to fix because I was like, and you would like have this ruck sitting on your like lap for like I don't know how long, but like every every time you're not doing anything, I would just fall asleep. Like I was a guy who just fell asleep, and like even during the briefs and like the casual walk around, and you probably get in trouble. But like it was so hard to just like kind of stay awake if you're not doing anything. But anyways, back to the point. Yeah, like I don't know about you, but like we had to ruck from like a point to like the marksmanship area. I think it was like
I
half a
think like
mile. And then like after that, like we were immediately told to just start like getting in line and start shooting. But oh yeah, we did have to run,
you
something like
remember
that.
running. I just remember
I,
my god, my eyebrows just being covered in sweat, and just like I barely could see, face paint all over it. I ended up taking it off while I was
oh
shooting.
my gosh, that's the thing. Like I had to wear glasses, and like that was so annoying because like you put on face camo, that would get all over your glasses, and like you're constantly sweating. You have to reapply face paint. You have to apply face paint so many times. Um, what was another thing? I don't know. But anyways, okay. So that was marksmanship. I think about like LANAF is that I expected them to teach before the written test, and they
Hmm.
never did for some reason. And
Right.
so we had to like quickly learn, kind of like go over the basics, which I was like very surprised about because I thought there like there'd be lessons, but like oh no, we didn't have time for that. Go straight to the test. You have like 30 minutes to do. But the written test, I was like some people didn't pass like the first time, and they were freaking out. You did it? Damn.
I told you this the first time.
I
I had
don't
to
remember. Oh shit, that's great. Oh, okay, maybe I do remember that. But you must have felt like so nervous. You're like, oh shit.
my life is over. I have to rethink my whole career. I failed this
Yeah.
test. And when I
Oh,
took it, did I ever tell you how it is when they retake it? So stupid. So they when you retake it, they'll go over the
oh yeah.
basically answers
Right.
and questions. I'll be like, okay, take notes. And so you're taking notes, and you realize that like the questions that they ask you are super close. Now they're not the exact answers, but it's
Hmm.
pretty much a version of what you just took a note of. And so
Yeah.
it was impossible to fail. Some people did fail the second retake, but very hard to fail it. But yeah, I
Yeah.
remember freaking out when I failed the test. They don't tell you what you got wrong either, so it's like you could
Oh, right.
no, you just
It's basically useless. Like the
yeah
retakes are basically useless.
yeah.
Um, um
And
so
it's not all my points for actual NF. Like every one of them, day and night, just messed up the written test. It's like you're good at one, not the other.
mm, I think like there's a couple of tricky questions. Some things to expect is kind of like obviously you have to know your terrain features. You would like they would give you like a coordinate, 8-digit coordinate, and then you'd plot it, and then whatever that point is on, you kind of like gotta identify the terrain. Another one is like you're given a coordinate, and then you have to like I don't remember the Lana test, but
It was
yeah,
like constants. If you're look, this point is here. What's the distance? What's the elevation? That's what always
hmm
got me. I couldn't figure it out.
yeah,
But
but uh, yeah, I don't remember test, but maybe that could be something we could talk about later on. So, what else? Hmm.
the rappel tower, that was cool.
Oh my gosh,
Pretty
my
self.
balls were crushed. That was pretty. I went to aerosol, but like I don't know, yeah, it's pretty fun too. But for some
Yeah,
people, like get ready to like be scared of heights or like conquer your fear of heights because you're gonna have to do it anyways.
yeah. It wasn't that bad. I don't think so. It's trust your equipment. Don't look down. Let
Yeah.
the L go down.
Did you have to wear Kevlar?
I think so. I think we did. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So that was Rappel Tower. Oh,
And with
another
the
th
don't
hmm?
grip like grasp that rope with all your life because you're gonna end up giving yourself rope burn. Really, you don't even really even need to hold on to that rope as you're going down. Just kind of release your brake hand and you'll go down. But me, like I was grasping like with all life, and then I realized I probably don't even need to do that. I just think I'm doing too much.
Yeah, like that the amount of friction and heat that generates going down is a lot.
Yeah,
Um, and like I mean, if you are going to aerosol, like another thing is when you're kind of at the bottom of the rope and you're holding up, it is kind of painful to have your Kevlar just tilting back in your neck. You're just constantly looking up. You're just like, come on, get your ass down. But yeah.
yeah.
And then let's talk about the field. Let's talk about the field. I would say, uh, okay, I don't like. There's a lot to talk about in the field, but basically, get ready to not have any sleep. Get ready to ruck through very uneven terrain with your ruck, with your MREs, with your flick, with a full water source, with your rifle, with your ammo, through uneven terrain. And I
Yep.
guess we can like talk about tips. Uh, like a couple tips is always bring your sunscreen. Um, because you're gonna get sunburn, and you don't want like sunburned skin rubbing against your rug. You want to pack your ruck in a certain way where things are accessible. Like the way I pack my ruck on the very bottom, I only brought a bivy, my summer sleep system. That's all you need. Because some nights get really cold actually. I remember one night I was like, it's the summer. I only like put on the bivy and it got freezing. I got sick. I got sick. And I had a sore throat and I had a fever. And one of my cadre members pulled me aside. He's like, you might have COVID. It's up to you to either tell the medics, and then if you do tell the medics, they're not gonna help you. You're gonna be put in a waiting area for like 2 weeks, and then you're gonna have to get recycled. And the thing is, you can't like miss board in like I think 48 hours of training or something.
Mm-hmm.
And if you do, you have to like, cause like yeah, you have to like recycle. Um, but anyways, yeah. What else? You have any other tips? Oh
Um,
yeah, oh yeah, the packing. Yeah, the packing. Oh, hold on, my bad. So also in the what else? So you have the sleep system, and then uh, I would have all that in a plastic bag, so like keep it waterproof. And then I had my poncho also in the bottom of the rug because like when you're settling down in a sleep area, that's the first thing I'm gonna take out is the poncho because I kind of want to like have a clear area for like from bugs crawling over. And some people they even care. Like they're so infantry ranger school who like they're going. That's what they're gonna do. They literally took out a sleep mat and just took out their feet, just bare out for the insect to just suck on them, and like just sleep like that. Like I do.
Yeah, no,
I sound like a pussy, but like I needed a poncho. I needed like to have a sleeping mat, and then have a sleep zone. And on the side, I would have like kind of like my hygiene bag, and then I would have like on the other side, I have like wet weathers in case it rains, and then on the middle, the main rock frame, on the very bottom, I would just have like extra uniforms, and then on the very top, I would have my MREs. You also want to bring a bunch of plastic bags because you're gonna have like a ton of trash that you're not always gonna have to throw away. A bunch of like trash, also for baby wipes, because when you're in the field, you have to clean yourself because you're constantly sweating. Like I've never smelled so bad in my life because you're just constantly sweating. You constantly like it's just like trucking through terrain and like heavy gear and like also like the mental state of like staying aware because you could get ambushed at any time. Um, Yeah, and you also have like when you're a patrol base, there's like tasks you have to do. Like I forgot what was the term, but you have to do certain tasks. And the very last thing is like hygiene and sleep. And so at that
yeah,
point, you have 10 minutes, like do your hygiene, change your t-shirt, change your underwear, and you have to learn like how to change your underwear in your sleeping bag. You have to learn like how to brush your teeth in the field. And how I brush my teeth in the field, I would have like a camelback hung up on like a tree branch, and it kind of use like the drinking mouth to like squirt out water as kind of like a fountain to like wet my toothbrush and like brush my teeth and clean it up. I don't know how you did it. Like, did you use a canteen or something?
I use my canteen cup, and there were just some days because I bought a lot of those like travel size mouthwash things, and there are
Hmm.
just it was just fuck it. I'm not doing this. I would just gargle with mouthwash, and that would be my brushing teeth for the day.
Honestly, yeah, I think bringing mouthwash is like a really fast way, and still cleans your teeth.
Yeah,
Um, Also, like you're gonna have to learn how to put on face paint in the dark. Sometimes you're not even allowed to have red lens, even though like you have to do some stuff in the dark. So you have to like organize your way, your equipment, so when you wake up, you know where everything is. Like I had to wear glasses. I had to like make sure like I know where that was. I put it on. I know where my ruck was. I know how to put everything back. It was kind of like feeling stuff like equipment and kind of putting everything back in your ruck.
it's
Um,
really important that like the night before you go to sleep, you know exactly where everything is that without having to look for it. Because yeah, you're not like I said, you're not allowed to have your red lens even on.
mhm.
It's just a pain to.
Yeah, I think the major things is overpack on t-shirts, underwears, and socks, because those are things that you can constantly change. I remember one time I ran out of t-shirts because I was just constantly sweating, and like if I didn't change the t-shirt, my rash would get worse because I already had a rash, and that's just something my body I have to deal with. It's just like
Yeah,
I get rashes easily.
baby,
Yeah,
not a
I
baby,
ran.
not a baby wipes too. I hated being that guy to like ask my battle buddies for baby wipes because I know that they need it too. But I thought I
Yeah,
brought a lot, much.
yeah,
It was like the second FTX, no more baby wipes.
yeah, and like baby wipes don't really clean your body, but it's just enough to like
Yeah,
wipe off the surface.
yeah.
Um, they also gave us like, oh my gosh, what was the hydration packs? Hoist. They gave us a ton of
Oh,
hoists.
I have so
Those,
many of those.
oh my gosh, those were like the go to everybody was like, hey, hoist. Like,
I like peach mango. It slapped. I was all about peach mango.
I think the worst one was like watermelon.
I don't know. I think so. I don't
Oh,
like
really?
grape. I think grape tastes like medicine.
Oh, really? I kind of like grape, but yeah, hoist like they give you a ton of hydration packs because you're constantly sweating. Um, What else? Like, like in my flick, I would have my sunscreen, I'd have my bug spray, I have my red lens, and a lot of stuff you have to keep track of, like your dog tags, extra set of batteries for your headlamp, your cat card. You have to like keep track of a lot of things because a lot of
Yeah,
things you have to return. Like, you also like get to go to SIF, which is like if your program doesn't have equipment, you go to this big area, and like that's the longest time you wait because that's like the longest process. Like for some reason, it takes forever to get your equipment, but you get a lot of stuff free over there. You get like your t-shirts for free. anything that touches your skin, even like eye pro, you get some for free. As
Yeah.
long as you don't wear glasses over there, they give it to you for free. But you also get yelled at by this like Asian lady. She's like, "Oh, why don't you have your equipment?" Oh, but okay, yeah. All right. Anyways, the field.
What else?
Yeah, prepare to get lack of sleep. Prepare
Tick.
to get tired all the time. Be prepared
You get any,
to. Hmm?
you get any ticks while you're out there?
Oh my gosh, I didn't get any bitten, but I had like 10 all the time. It scared the
Yeah.
shit out of me. Like,
I got bit twice.
no
It was
way.
my knee and one on my arm. And I was like, what the heck?
Oh, fuck that. Fuck that. Get ready for
Yeah.
ticks. Get it. Like, I don't know. Like, DEET might not really work, even though they give you bug spray. Um, I would say bring Promethean. That like actually works. Just spray a ton of those.
Yeah.
Just make sure you read the instructions. What else?
I fumigate my sleeping bag every night. I would just for like 20 seconds, just like gas chamber my before I go to bed. It had to be so bad for you. I was just
Oh my.
inhaling.
Yeah, it's probably you probably have cancer now, prostate
Yeah,
cancer.
probably I would explain a few things.
What? Hey yo.
And
You
I'm
probably have.
short. I'm all of like 5'7", so I was fortunate enough to be able to like cocoon myself in my sleeping bag. So it was just finding me during fire guard was probably a nightmare because I was just inside my bag. But if you're
Nice.
taller, it sucks. But I feel like a little hack for shorter people is that you can, if you want, I mean, you also get really hot in your sleeping bag. I think retains heat, but
Hmm.
yeah, I was cool with it.
Yeah. Um. Hey, I always remember sleeping at night. You just hear like psh, all the spraying of bug spray.
Yeah,
Um.
bug spray.
Yeah. Like during fire guard, when you're trying to sleep, is the worst thing.
Yep.
It's like you just slept for 2 hours and someone has to wake you up and like, hey, yeah, fire guard. Oh, okay, I'll do that. And you just walk to your apex. You pretend to hold your rifle. You sleep on your rifle, and then I remember like our PO would have like a logging system to make sure you feel it. I remember this one time, one person I don't know what happened. One person forgot to like tell the other person, and so like this one M240 was just like just there alone. The PO like got super mad and woke every one of us up, and then the girl who was supposed to go like threw her 240 or 249 down, and she got like what is it called when you like on blue card you get like an infraction or I forgot. It's like a really bad thing that
Oh,
actually
side, I think it is. Is that
no,
the
no, no. It's like when you get in trouble or you do something stupid. I forgot the term.
bot report?
No, 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 no. I forgot. Anyways, like in phase two, you get blue cards and hmm. I guess the blue cards are dependent on your platoon and how well you trained with them. Like how often are they compatible with each other? I think my platoon was pretty solid. Like when you're in the field, people start showing their true selves. People start like getting sick and tired of other people, and then they start like, ah, hey. I remember I was a bit of that too at some point. I was just so tired. Like tired of taking knees for like 20 seconds with my stupid ruck on my back and like the PL getting us lost and we have to like trudge through terrain again. Or like when you're pulling security on patrol base and they tell you, oh, you gotta move here and you gotta stand up and you gotta lay down, you gotta do the same thing. I mean, there's like some sort of complaining, but at the same time, you don't want to be like my PL, our lieutenant. She was like, "Don't be battle buddy fuckers." She would say that a lot. If you wanna succeed, then you should like be a good partner too, or like
Yeah,
be a good battle buddy.
yeah.
Um,
They say that, and it is right, but you'll get into that mentality. Hopefully, you don't. But once you're done with your leadership rotations, you've gotten all 5-year blue cards, all your
mhm.
field blue. Pretty much everything is just kind of like, all right, gotta wait till to get out of the field. I feel
Yeah,
like a lot of will get put into like squad leader position, just kind of like, oh, I don't give a fuck about this. I'm done. Why do I care? I don't. This doesn't count. It counts. If you do awful, they'll just supplement that with another blue card.
Yeah, that's the
So
thing. That's the thing. Like, for example, say, like, I remember one of my friends, he finished all his blue cards in like one iteration, one whole day. He was squad leader, and then he was like PL, PSG,
yeah,
and then he was done.
yeah,
But
they're
if
on.
they start, yeah, if they start seeing you like slacking because, oh, I'm done, I've been evaluated, they could like decrease your score too. Like your cadre are constantly like looking, and you don't want to be that guy too.
Yeah,
Um, like in all honesty, it's easier to like complain and not do anything, but it will make your life better if you just be a team player. Like, hey, okay, I'll do this for you. Do favors for each other. Like that'll
yeah.
just make everything work out smoother. Um,
Like, it's
and
gonna suck for everyone. You're not the only
yeah,
one facing stuff. Literally
yeah,
everyone.
yeah. Everybody's going through. Like, I had this staff sergeant in my squad, funniest guy ever. He's like married to like this Korean girl. And then he's just like, I don't know, and he's like so country. And he's
Mm-hmm.
like, he's 11 Bravo. He was trying to go to RAS. And he was like, oh, damn, I'm so tired. This is harder than RAS or something. But like, it's kind of like boosting morale. And you're gonna be so many different personalities. You're gonna be people who are like so hardcore, people who want to go MP, people who are like
Mm-hmm.
a-holes. And there's a lot of people like that have to get carried through CST. Like there was always the big guys that would always have to carry the 240. And like I remember when I was doing the 8 mile ruck, which was the hardest 8 mile ruck I've ever done. I've never done a ruck where I want to fall asleep and like try so hard like oh man I'm gonna fall asleep, but like I had to carry like multiple rifles because like some females like couldn't like do the ruck and like
Mm-hmm.
and you're rucking through like really sometimes you go like up this hill like for half a mile like when is this incline gonna stop and you probably know what I'm talking about that one incline going
Where it's
going up.
think it's
Yeah,
over, and then you have it two more, three more times.
yeah, you keep
Yeah.
going and like there's like a lot of rocks but anyways like you would march in formation uh and it would be tactical too so you couldn't talk, you couldn't I think you had to like I know for my platoon we had to turn off our villains because we had to be tactical. And that really kind of made me want to fall asleep because it was just like everything was just pitch black and all you could
Yeah.
all you had was just like hearing footsteps in front of you.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I had to carry the 240 once and that was the worst thing.
Mm.
Just like walking with it, like get this, get give this to somebody else. But yeah, um, hmm,
But I mean, I think CST is just one big game. You just kind of have to play the game.
yeah,
You have all the answers to the test. You should be going there somewhat prepared. And if you're totally lost, they'll teach it to you. They literally will do the whole crawl, walk, run phase the whole time before you
hmm
do everything like you never learned it before, and then you
hmm
practice will count. And if for whatever reason you fail or something doesn't work, you just redo it again until you pass.
hmm I think I didn't think I got an E. Like I think I had three P's and like two C's.
Yeah,
Like like
I got 40.
yeah, like our cadre were very strict on like giving out E's. Like you'd only be given an E if they thought like, oh, you're ready to lead as a PO. That's what an E was. Like that was their standard. Um, so I thought that was unfair because like it's honestly cadre dependent. Like I keep saying, like if they're nice, they're like, oh, you get an E because you've done the mission well.
Yep.
Um, yeah. So basically, like we could give you as many tips as we can, like oh, how to pack more efficiently, how to set up your MRE so you eat it quickly. And also, like one thing I'll just say, when I would eat my MRE, I would always break up the crackers, mix it in with like I don't know, this the sauce, put in like everything in just one packet. So I would just eat everything instead of like breaking it up. Um, and my favorite
Would you
MRE, huh?
heat up your MREs? Curious. Would you warm it up? I never
No,
warmed up my.
I just threw that away. I threw the heating pad away because you didn't have time. Yeah,
Yeah, and they're like, no, I gotta heat up my MRE. I'm like, dude, you don't have time. Like,
bro,
we're
bro.
literally in eat that shit.
Yeah. And like in the field, you don't have time to eat your MREs. And they keep giving you MREs. Like,
Yeah. Oh, I
eh,
home so many like just so many unopened. I mean, it's full of snacks.
yeah. And what you can do is field trip. Basically, you kind of take like the meal, the main meal, or like certain snacks. I remember I would just collect all these first strike bars, like, and then like when you're in security, you could just like kind of like sneak it up and eat because you're not allowed to eat, obviously on security. I would just kind of like sneak it up, and eat.
Yeah.
I remember, and like when you're in the field or at squad sick things, you could be given blanks and uh, be prepared to kind of lose your hearing a bit. I was determined not to lose my hearing. That was one thing I was fearing going in is losing my hearing because you're going to be shooting blanks. When I first shot the blank, I shot like three consecutively. I'm like, and people say like, oh, it's quiet. My ears already like blew out, and like I could hear ringing. I couldn't hear anything. I'm like, okay, nah, fuck that. And so I would always wear like headphones, just or like
You're pro.
ear pro. And that was the thing. They didn't give me ear pro. I had to buy it from the PX. Like,
Yeah, they didn't give me ear pro. Well, I brought my own ear pro. But remember when we went there, we got our ears checked. So
yeah,
my ears were dirty. They're like, "Oh, your ears are dirty.
same.
No go, stand over there." And just everybody got ear pro except for me. And I'm like, "What? Do I just not get ear pro?" But
I
I
think
brought home.
nice. I think it was that one medic that was like so harsh, just disqualifying everybody. I was like, I didn't want to be her. I didn't want to see her. This other medic was like so good. She was passing everybody. But yeah, I got yelled at like for having my ear pro in by the cadre. Yeah, the Green Beret cadre, he's like funny, but at one point he started yelling at everybody. Uh, he told me to take off my ear pro this one time. I was like, okay, yes, that's my sergeant. And then I kept putting it on, and then he just yelled at me. He's like what's wrong with you? He literally stood. He's like, like he was having like a seizure or something. Like he was so shocked of what's going on. But yeah, like, hey, you want to sum up, kind of like give a general advice, like you said,
Yeah, I mean,
kind of closing points.
to me, I played the game. I went in there knowing that this isn't real life. Like this is literally the first days of my life that I have to do in order to advance. So I didn't
Mhm.
take anything personal. I didn't. I was true to myself, but I also kind of played the game in a way where it would favor myself. And you need a great character to, be the leader that you need to be to get the right cards. Go ahead. This is your time to shine. Everything that you've done in ROTC kind of comes down to these 35 days. And it literally could like make or break your all-medal score at the end. It's kind of crazy how much it impacts your overall score. So keep
I
that in
think,
mind.
yeah, I think CST is like what, 20 points, 30 points,
8 points, yeah.
and like land nav is a big portion of the points.
Yeah.
Um, and like if you're trying to go for recondo, be a high speed. There's some requirements you have to do. Like you have to score above like 80 on the written test. You have to shoot above like a 32 on the marksmanship out of like 35. You
I
have to
think you need
like,
I think you need 100 on the written test. I
oh
think I can
really?
perfect score, yeah.
Oh gosh. I think okay. Oh yeah, I got an 80 on the written test. But okay. So my general advice is be a team player. Like always be positive. Um, bring a notebook. That's what carried me through the field. Is I wrote down this calendar every day. I would just check off like, oh, it's one less day. I'm almost there. Just like I had like different methods to like kind of play with, kind of make time faster. I'm like, okay, I'm done with day one of phase one. Okay, I have I finished my first MRE. I have two more MREs to go throughout the day.
Yeah.
Um, I finished my first mission. I have two more to go. Everybody's just like, everybody came up to me like, hey, what day we on? What day we on? Stuff like that. I thought it was pretty funny. Even though we knew exactly how many days, we just wanted to be reassured on how many days. And I would like journal almost every day. Like it was like so many times I was just, like, I think 60 was like the hardest thing I've ever done. Uh, and it's probably like cadre 1%. Like we couldn't do a lot of things. Like we had to be quiet. Like they took it like for real, like we were in the comments. So like in the patrol base, nobody was talking. Everyone was serious. Everybody was like on their rifle. You couldn't really sleep. You actually had to like actually like look around for stuff and not you get written on your blue card.
Yeah.
Um, Another thing is be adaptable. You know, it is the army, so you do have to kind of like adapt to the situation. Like if you've never eaten this fast before, if you've never carry this amount of equipment, if you've never gone through this terrain, if you've never, been with so many people, if you've never slept like this less, you have to learn to adapt. Um, the best thing you can do is just bring your knowledge from what you learned and apply it. Be a team player. Uh, be as physically fit as you can. Like
Yes.
like for the ACFT, I would say the ACFT was a breeze for me. Yeah, it was a nice track. I actually enjoyed the 2 mile. Like, I think I ran the 2 mile in like 16 minutes, and I didn't want to try. I didn't even try, and I ran that. Um,
Mm.
yeah. Mm, I think that's pretty much it. Like,
Yeah.
don't overpack when you go to CST. Like, you don't have to bring everything for the packing list. You'll get your stuff at CIF, but I wouldn't recommend getting stuff from CIF. Like, if you there's one person. He had his ruck at the airport, but the airport lost it, and so he had to go to CIF and build an entire rucksack and use that while he was in the field. And then like when you're returning stuff to CIF, you have to like clean it, and the cleaning thing, and you have to be like, it has to be crystal clean. If there's like a certain dirt, they won't accept it, and you have to like wait another I don't know how many more hours or something. And they gave us like brushes. They only give us brushes to clean with, which was like kind of stupid. Um,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's. Oh, another thing is bring kind of like a booklet like this, like an
Hmm.
opboard shell. So like this was like small enough to kind of like have all the info,
Yep.
and it was like laminated, it was waterproof, it was weatherproof, so like you could use this throughout the field. Basically have like everything like marching cadences or running cadence like that. That should be one thing you should know. You can do a lot of cadences, a lot of marching, and to be honest, when I did those. I would always remember, like, there was always those cadences which everybody repeated, and it just made me feel like a soldier. Got you who well motivated. Um, what was some? I forgot what was there. There's so many.
There's so
There,
many.
there's like one, but you can't count to two. Two,
Oh,
but you
no.
can't. Ah, shit. Yeah, like those were like fun, but like I don't know. I felt like a soldier just marching in sync. You know.
Yep. And you go home when you're back to school. Back to
Yeah.
Rutgers.
Or you can. Oh yeah, like. Ah, it was weird. Like you thought CST was like going up through Archie's career. CST was like big thing, like this huge monster that like everybody was like telling you like it's like a major graduating requirement, convention requirement. And then once that happened, like you've made friends there, and then when you go back to Rutgers or go back to your program, it feels weird. Like you know your CST buddies more than your Rutgers cadets, and it's kind of weird to kind of get rejuvenated. Like like Mal and I had like a really strong connection coming out of CST, going to Rutgers. We'd always like hang out with each other, and then like to be honest, I didn't really talk to other MS4s. I was like, Psh, they didn't experience CST like we did. It'd be like that petty stuff. And another thing is, I would totally like try to choose like a regiment early like first regiment, just to get it over with. You don't like why would you choose 11th reg? Like have your entire summer thinking about CST, like oh what it can be like. Um and like first reg, yeah, and like first reg, like there's less weathering, like less rain. I remember like, later regs they had to like deal with rain. Um but yeah, you just want to get it over with, and plus like you'll have time for internships for CTLT. I know
Plus,
about
you'll
like
make your friends and peers jealous that you're graduating first by posting graduation pictures.
oh yeah, and they would ask you questions in the chat like, "Hey, like what can we prepare for and stuff." And I think a big negative psychological factor that would have affected me was when we were finishing the 12-mile ruck and we saw the other regs coming in like every week a new reg would come in, and then like say, um, like I think we're at Lanath, and then we saw second reds come in, and we thought like they were just a bunch of newbies. Like, oh,
Yeah,
look at these
look who's,
fresh
who's
meat.
yeah. Well, we've only been there like 5 days before they did. We're like,
Yeah,
oh,
but it
we're
felt
we're
like
better than you because we were here a week longer.
yeah, but it felt like we've been here for like 30 days and we're like the seniors, like, hey, we know what's going on. You don't know what you're putting yourself into.
Yeah, no, recommend go try to go first or try to go like some of the earlier regs. Just get like you said, get that out of the way. You feel so
Yeah,
much better out the rest of your summer if you don't have an internship. And if you have an internship, you can do your internship. Um, yeah, definitely going early is the way. Unless you have an internship before CST, then I guess that's like an excusable reason. But I don't know, try
yeah,
to go early.
yeah. I would say like once you get at CST, you become grateful of little things, kind of like sleeping in your own bed, not having to rush to eat, having your
Yeah.
phone, talking to people. You just have more freedom. I remember like when I got back to the like after the field, when I got back, I was just like, because I had an internship after, I was just dreaming about going to my hotel in a nice
Mm,
AC and a nice clean bed. And I was like, damn, what a life that could be. Not me like in this dirt in the field. But you become grateful of like the little things.
mm,
Um, but yeah, I think CST is like one of the things that you'll always remember no matter what. But I think you'll get through it. Um, you could be infinite amount of tips, but just like everybody else before, they've done it. So, you know,
yeah, you're not the
yeah,
first. You're not.
yeah, you're not gonna be the last. So, all right, I think that's as much as we can like talk about. But I hope you enjoyed the video. This is Mal, Cadet Lee, and I'll see ya.